This is an old-school point-and-click adventure game, and as such doesn't leave me much in the way of unique mechanics. There is sword fighting, but not a lot of it, and Guybrush's skill is based on his wit, not training or form or experience or anything like that. Now, unlike a normal and healthy individual, I saw this and decided to spend an unheavenly amount of time, during the only life I'm ever going to get, figuring out how a charisma-based combat system would work in Dungeons & Dragons. So, without further ado, here you go! Something you never asked for, but I'm giving it to you anyway. First things first, a charisma-based combat system would be primarily based off of a character's intimidation, deception, and or persuasion skills, with the idea being you're trying to intimidate, trick, or outwit your opponent. We're also going to have to remove AC and weapon damage as mechanics, replacing it with a success system. And the icing on the cake here is that all attacks, including spells, would be contested. Let us pretend you are in a party that includes a barbarian, a wizard, and some kind of half-caster. Let's say it's, ranger. This band of adventurers goes into the woods one day and gets jumped by a bunch of goblins, because that's the kind of scum they are. The barbarian goes first, so he bonus action rages, just like my Nana used to do, and starts to clobber the nearest goblin, which is, strangely, also just like how my Nana used to do. The barbarian rolls with advantage on his attack, since it was reckless, and rolls a 7 and a 16. And since the goblin's AC is 13 in this particular example, the attack hits. The barbarian raises his great axe and brings it down on the goblin, cleaving it in two. Now, this is a regular 5th edition combat scenario, but it would look very different in my charisma combat model. So let's rewind from the top, people! The barbarian goes first, so he bonus action rages. The barbarian rolls with advantage on his attack, since it was reckless, and rolls a 7 and a 16. The barbarian pulls out his axe and begins to taunt the goblin.
No one's gonna save you now.
As a result of this threat, the barbarian adds his intimidation modifier, which brings the total roll to a dirty 20. But since AC is no longer a thing, what do we do now? Well, since the roll is contested, the goblin would roll next. He responds with a witty retort.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
And rolls his die, getting a 15. Plus, he adds his persuasion, since he was trying to be funny. This brings him to a total roll of 18, which is less than barbarian's 20. So the barbarian gets a success. The number of successes necessary for an enemy to be defeated would depend on the DM. Boss fights might require more successes to win, while this goblin might just need the one to be defeated. In the event the goblin got 21 and beat the barbarian, the goblin would not have gotten a success. Rather, since the barbarian initiated the attack, his attack would have missed. Other effects in the game would work as normal, such as conditions including grappling and frightened, and spells that require a check to escape, such as the strength check to get free of entangle, would still just be a strength check. Now, this is honestly far from a perfect system. It doesn't keep in mind healing, and it would probably lose its novelty in longer campaigns. So I'd love to hear what you guys think could make it better. And if you do decide to play your next campaign with this idea, first of all, why? Second of all, tell me how it went. I'd love to hear it. And please do consider checking out the other stuff we do. We make other videos about D&D, such as what classes different characters would be, and we have a little podcasting we do called Tavern Talk, where we talk about different scenarios in Dungeons & Dragons. It's honestly a lot of fun, and I'd honestly love to see you tune into us next time here on Out of Initiative.